Okay, so now we're going to move to our third normal form. A relation is in the third normal form if and only if, first of all, it's in the second normal form already, and we know that if it's in the second, it's already in the first. And every non-key attribute is non-transitively dependent on the primary key. What in the world does that mean? Okay, so transitive dependencies is when a non-key attribute depends on another non-key attribute. So we want to avoid that. Our simple example here is that in a table named stocks, we have the ID, the name, the country, and the exchange rate. Now, all of these are needed information that's related. Like there's nothing wrong with this looking in terms of like there's no multi-valued attributes, everything has the primary key, et cetera, et cetera. However, the exchange rate actually depends on the country. It has nothing to do with the actual stock itself. So even though in the end of the day, you're going to want to know that information, it's just not necessary. And if you think back to the swimmer table or the student activity fee table, the rate of the swim activity fee has nothing to do with the student itself, even though we want to know how much the student paid, right? And so if it's not normalized on the third, then we're going to have update issues. So let's look at a second example here. So here, our top table, we have employee data. So we have their ID number, name, title, salary, and address, basically. The problem here being that title and salary are actually dependent on each other and not on the employee ID. So basically, in this very simplified HR data, your pay is actually tied to your title. So for an example, at my company, if you have an internship and you're in a BA program, you make $20 an hour. No variation on that. That data would fit in here nicely, except for it's per hour instead of salaries. If you have a master's degree, then you get $25. Or in the master's program, you get $25 an hour, period. No question. Like that is how it is. And so if I tell you an employee, and I tell you, hey, that person is a BA intern, you know how much they're making. You don't need to have that all in the employee table. That can sit in another smaller table that just has the salary information instead of the hundreds of records of all of your employees. Okay, so at this stage, you need to look at each attribute in your table and really consider whether there's anything dependent on each other inside your tables, or if anything needs to be split out, or if everything really does belong in the tables that you think they are.